get your guys' thoughts and kind of let you know how they look and how this might play out with some of those fun jerseys. So stick around, big show today. Lots of other news. Breaking news this morning, as well as from the Premiership, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has extended his contract to 2024 with Man United. So we'll touch on that for a little bit as well. Right off the bat, big thank you to our sponsors and friends, Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars FC, Tim Merritt and Ross with Ross Mortgage, Superior Family Dental, and Aaron and Next Level Training. All right, lots of stuff, jam-packed show. Who do we have with us? Today, we have Nate back on the show with us. Thanks for joining, Nate. Appreciate it, buddy. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me, as always.
All right. It's always good to have Nate on the show. I've received a little bit of feedback. One or two people really like you and think the banter we have is good.
That's weird.
One or two people think you're only on the show to show off your arms.
That's true.
I did not expect that to go that way. But
I mean, I'm just honest on a morning. It's rainy. I had to be, tell you the truth.
It is a rainy morning here in Metro Detroit. Wherever you guys are in the world, hopefully it's a little nicer than what it is here. All right. So why don't we just jump right in? The U.S. women's national team, they're right in the middle right now of their second game in the Olympics over in Tokyo. So Olympics 2020, Tokyo 2020, I believe it's called. Currently, the team is up 1-0. A nice goal, a really nice worked goal. Could be 3 or 4-0. They've had 3 goals called back for offsides. U.S. just can't seem to stay on sides. This comes on the heels of their first game against Sweden. Sweden, I mean, there's no bones about it. Sweden were the dominating team. They dominated. They won 3-0. The score really could have been a lot worse than that for the U.S. For me, the Swedish team took advantage, just out-coached, out-classed, outplayed, out-hustled the U.S. team. Every time Sweden wanted to get down the wings, they got down the wings, they got a cross in. They, in the middle of the field, clogged up that middle of the field. The U.S. had no answers. Every time Sweden got into the U.S.'s box, it looked like there could be a goal happening. The U.S. just, like I said, seemed stifled and kind of out of place. They seemed like they thought they were going to roll into this game and win it. They were on the heels of a 44-game unbeaten streak, 23 games with the new coach. I think they just thought they were going to show up and win this and probably walk away with the tournament. That wasn't to be. As we said, Sweden won 3-0 in a really good game for Sweden. And the more the game went along, you just couldn't help but root for Sweden, to be honest. And I don't want to root against the U.S. national team. But Sweden, man, they just looked like they wanted it more. They had younger players. They had a plan. They stuck to their plan, and they went out and watched it. Yes, I did get up and watch that game at 4:30 in the morning because I'm a bit of a soccer nut. Hence why we have a soccer show here. Nate, any thoughts from that game from you, my friend?
I did not watch it at 4 a.m. I invested in this thing called DVR. It's amazing technology. Greg, you might want to look into it. From the aspect of the women's game in general globally, I think the era of the U.S. women's dominance is going to be coming kind of, I hate to say to an end, but there's going to be a struggle. And where I'm coming from that standpoint is FIFA has now invested more money in the Women's World Cup. They've been upping it because they know that they can grow their market that way. And as they invest more money, the other global federations are now looking at this going, we can bring in more money for our national team if we do well. And so now that the prize money has started to increase and some of these clubs like United, Chelsea, the bigger English clubs, and soon other clubs around the world realize that they can tap into a new market and market their club more and make, again, more money. It's a marketability thing. They're going to throw more money and invest more money in this game. And as that happens, what they know how to do is going to then translate. The coaching will get better, the facilities will get better, and they will start to catch up or have been catching up. And that's, I think we're starting to see a little bit of that leaking through.
Yeah, I think I'll hit upon that point. I'll agree with you there, Nate. The women's game has come a long way, even in the past 10 years, right? Where 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we were used to seeing the U.S. women's national team just beat other teams to a pulp. That doesn't happen these days. I think the women's game around the world has just upped its level, and they're catching up to the U.S. And it's a good thing to see.
Yeah.
I'll be really honest.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the strongest leagues in the world, are in England, are in Germany. Those are really good women's leagues.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the national teams around the world, they're catching up to the U.S., and we're seeing it. But I mean, don't forget, the U.S. women's national team is still ranked number one in the world. They are still the favorites, even though they lost their first game here. I believe they're still the favorites to go on and win the Olympics. I, for one, think they do still go on to win this Olympics. Yes, they were outclassed, they were outworked, out-hustled, everything in that loss to Sweden. But I think they get their shit together. They win this game against New Zealand. They go to play Australia Tuesday the 27th at 4 a.m. That's Eastern time. In the third game of their group stage here, and they progress through and they find a way. They could very well play against Sweden in the finals, which would be an interesting matchup.
Right.
So,
and I think they'll get out, and I think they'll do, get down to the final for sure. But what I mean is, in the past, they would roll through everything. They would just blitzkrieg everyone, get to the final, and then maybe struggle a little bit. And I think that's going to start to stop. And I think that they're going to have better or harder competition throughout these group stages, throughout the knockout rounds, because of that emergence, because of that growth that we're talking about, which is a good thing. And I think they're getting to a point where they're going to be at a crossroads where they're going to either have to adapt or they're going to find life to be hard going forward. And we'll see what happens. And honestly, I don't hear or see much adapting. I hear I hate to, bash my own homeland, the whole American pride, we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. But the reality is you either adapt or you start to die. And I'm not seeing much adapting. I'm seeing a lot of, hey, we're the women's national team. We've been the best at this for so long. We're naturally still going to be the best. And that is not a good mindset to have in general.
I agree. Well, I with the new coach, I think once some of these older players kind of depart, probably after these Olympics, Rapinoe, Morgan, Carly Lloyd, once those players kind of step away, I think he will be able to make this more of his own team, and he will be able to, for lack of a better term, get rid of some of that arrogance that has come along with it. I think the younger players who are waiting in the wings, Jalen Howell and Macario, those players are hungry, and they're not going to have that arrogance when they step into the national team once those older players leave.
Well, hopefully the coach is able to stay, because if he stumbles at all, he's just going to be blamed, and he will be fired.
Yep,
and that's an unfortunate thing, wrong, or indifferent.
He's in a no-win situation.
No-win situation.
Nate, you and I were talking before the show. If the U.S. wins the Olympics, it's probably going to get all the credit's going to go to the players, the older players who helped see them through. If they lose the tournament, it'll fall on the coach.
Correct.
You're right. Antonovsky's in a no-win situation. I do want to hit upon something. While it occurred to me while I was watching that U.S. women's national team game versus Sweden the other night, early morning, I've never been a huge fan of women's soccer in the past. I'm really starting to get into it in the past year or two here. I will say, for my money, it is a much purer aspect of the sport. It was really enjoyable to watch two teams play, and there wasn't any diving, there wasn't any feigning, there wasn't any trying to deceive the referee. There wasn't time wasting. It was just pure soccer. It was great to see. Even it really struck me, and I think around the 75th minute, and I think at that point Sweden were up 2-0. There was a foul. The Swedish girl, she ran over, she got the ball, she brought the ball back, she set it, and she took the free kick. Now, if that was a men's game anywhere in the world, you're up 2-0, and there's a foul. You're going to go over, you're going to touch the ball, then you're going to walk away, and you're going to let your goalie take it, or you're going to let someone else walk up, so you've wasted a solid 30 or 40 seconds. And I just started to watch it a little bit more, and I've watched a couple of these other women's games. This women's soccer is just a more pure form of the sport. They are 100% let's play, let's go at it, let's be hard, let's have fun. There's no deception. There's no anything. There's no time wasting. It was really enjoyable to see. If you guys are watching these Olympics for the women's side, go ahead and, make sure for a few minutes you watch and keep that in the back of your mind. The game becomes really enjoyable when you see that, right? I don't know, Nate, if you've watched or noticed any of that, but for me, it's more enjoyable to see a game the way it's supposed to be played.
I don't like comparing different forms of this game to each other. I like it for what it is, and I think when, not to knock a comment, but what I hate is, when people go, oh, if the women's team did this, or, well, if the men's team did that, or, if an MLS team was here, or a Premier League team was there, each one of these leagues, each one of these teams are different, and they play different, and you can enjoy it for what it is and how it is, whether it's college, whether it's high school, whether it's USL 1, 2, MLS, NISA. It's all different, and I think the different aspects of the game make it unique, and I like to just watch it for what it is, and enjoy it for what it is. Perfect. It's a different part of the game.
Well, we'll be keeping tabs on the U.S. women's national team. We'll let you know some score highlights as they come in today. And obviously, as we said, Tuesday they play against Australia. We're going to assume here, we don't want to be arrogant ourselves, but I think we can assume that they're going to win today against New Zealand. They will probably win against Australia, progress through to the knockout stages. And we'll be able to talk a little bit more about them next week.
It's coming home. Right? Did I use it right?
I don't know. I think you used that wrong. But that's okay. Next time. We'll keep working on you, Nate.
Okay, come on.
All right. Big shout out to our friend Kellen Acosta of the U.S. men's national team. Today is his 26th birthday. So happy birthday, Kellen. You're right now in the throes of the Gold Cup with the U.S. men's national team. You play in the quarterfinals tomorrow night, which will be Sunday, down in Texas at AT&T Stadium against Jamaica. The U.S. men's national team advanced through the group round about 5-6 days ago now. They beat Canada 1-0 in a game that was not much of a standout game for any of the U.S. men's team players. They seemed to stumble a little bit. They did win 1-0. But I think the only reason, to be honest, they won 1-0, yes, they scored about 20 seconds into the game. But after that, they sat back. They weren't able to break down Canada very well. And the only reason they won is because Canada had absolutely nothing on the offensive end. Their final third was terrible. They couldn't find the net. They couldn't do anything. That game could still be playing now a week later, and the score would still be 1-0, I think. Kellen Acosta, I thought, did very well. The young gentleman in the back, Sands, the kid who came in for the U.S., I thought did really well. I'm very, very impressed with him. Other than that, Turner did well. The goalkeeper, I thought he came out very well on some of the corners and crosses. Other than that, the U.S. needs to pick it up a little bit. I did not like the idea of starting Zardes and Daryl Dike up top together. I don't think it worked. Daryl Dike, I do not want to say he had a poor game. I've seen him play better, but as a striker and a striker of his nature, he's not going to do very well if he's not getting the service. He got no service. He was constantly defending, constantly told to hold the ball up, and when he held the ball up, there was usually only one option for him. It was a bit of a tough game for the U.S. men's national team. I don't think they got the tactics right. I think Greg Berhalter is going to have to go back to the drawing board. And now, as I just said, they play in the quarterfinals against Jamaica, who are no slouches. Jamaica have some players. They have some big boys in the back who will come up on free kicks and come up on corner kicks, and they could cause some problems for the USA. Should be a good game tomorrow. Nate, any thoughts on the game against Canada and then the upcoming quarterfinal matchup?
I loved Miles Robinson. I thought he was great as a center back. I loved his pressure. I think at one point he cut off like 2 passes in a row, just like back to back within seconds. It was really, I thought he did great. Again, I think Berhalter, and I'm still on the fence. I like what he's doing in that he's bringing on all these new players. I think there was like 42 new players throughout the time that he's taken over that have started, which is awesome. So he's really growing the player pool, and I think from an aspect of, was win, lose, or draw with the U.S. team going forward, I think this tournament was a success for them to get some of these new guys out before World Cup qualifying and get a look at them. Yep. So from that aspect, great job. From a coaching, actual game management aspect, he was outcoached by the Canadian coach again.
Absolutely.
This was the second time this dude was outcoached by the Canada coach, who had to make some adjustments due to injury, and Berhalter had no solutions for what was going on.
Yep.
And yes, he's very lucky they got a win. I hate to say that. Yeah, a win's a win, but they turned over the ball twice that I saw in the attacking third that should have led to goals. At least those, they did it more than that, but 2 times specifically should have led to goals. Canada messed it up themselves. Not that U.S. recovered and was great. I don't know why we're glued to Zardes starting. He's started 2 out of 3 times in this tournament, and the 2 times that he started, they've only were able to score 1 goal. The 1 time he didn't start, they racked in 6. He's just not. I don't think he's doing it. And if you're going to play him, maybe play him wide. I know that sounds crazy, but you're lacking wide midfield players. You could do that there, but as a forward, get him out of there. It's not working. It's just not working.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't working. I do like Shaq more wide, but I do like Zardes wide. That's a great idea. It's a great option. And I would like to see them play with DK up top by himself. Yep. But he's got to get service. And if you have wide players like Shaq Moore, if you've got wide players who like Zardes who can get out there, use their speed and get some crosses in, then DK becomes more valuable because he gets the service. And all you want to do is put float balls into the box and let him put his head on it, right? He's going to score most of his goals with his head. So I agree 100% with you. He was outcoached by the Canada team there.
Stop playing Jackson Uval.
I
liked him in the Olympics or the qualifying. I thought he was one of the players that stood out. I was excited to see him in this Gold Cup, but he has done nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing.
He's got to sit the bench there.
Oh.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm a big fan of Jamie Sands, the kid that came in. Oh, yeah. He's a New York City FC player. I think he has a real future with this men's national team, and I can see him, if he keeps the progress he's got right now going, I can see him making a move somewhere, and I hate to say it, away from MLS, but to a bigger league.
Villa.
I would take him. The Villa looking for a backup center back, so I would definitely take him. I really did like the way he played. Kellen Acosta, he was kind of overrun a little bit in the middle. Canada just controlled possession. They had more players in the middle than the U.S. knew what to do with. So not really a standout game for him, but it wasn't bad overall. Again, the U.S. needs to get the tactics right, because now they face Jamaica, who are very quick, very deceptive, and they got some big boys in the back, man. I tell you what, they got some 6'4" center backs who can come up and really put their head on the ball. So U.S. needs to get their tactics right for this quarterfinal game. Not only is this a big game, I think U.S. need to dominate against Jamaica, because once the Gold Cup is done, coming up in September, there's 3 World Cup qualifying games for the U.S., and Jamaica is one of those games. So I believe that game has just this week been announced at the new Austin
Q1.
FC. Was it
Q1?
Q1, Q2, whatever it is?
No, just the Q1. The Q2 is somewhere else.
Oh, okay. So the Q1 in Austin, yeah. So that game's going to be in September. Listen, I want them to win the quarterfinals, advance to the Gold Cup. I think the expectation for this U.S. men's national team in the Gold Cup is to get to the final. Anything short of that is just, it's a failure. But it's a little regional tournament. Yeah. To be honest, the main goal for U.S. soccer this year and in early next year is qualifying for the World Cup. If the U.S. men's national team does not qualify for the World Cup, this will devastate soccer here in the U.S. Because let's think about it. We missed out on the last World Cup. We missed out on the Olympics. And then if we miss out on another World Cup, U.S. soccer could be in trouble if we do not get it together and qualify for Qatar 2022.
And that was my point a little bit about, and obviously I want them to win, and yeah, I'll be disappointed they don't. But my point with, I think it's a success with bringing on these new players. Did you know who Sands was before this tournament started?
To be honest, I did not.
No, maybe some like MLS fans are like, "How did you not know?" You know, okay, but we never knew how he was in a world or in a national team. But now you know, and that's the point of some of these regional tournaments, is not only just to win and do well, but to give these players a chance. And maybe you find a diamond in the rough. And I think you have with Sands, and I think you have with Robbins, and Moore is making a case for himself, and DK, if he does continues to do well, is making a case for himself. So that's building your roster. That's getting these guys not only experience and exposure, but then now going into qualifying, you have a better idea of some of these players you maybe didn't know about. And from that aspect, this tournament has been a success, pure and simple, and hats off to Bradley
Whoa,
yeah,
we went back a couple of coaches there.
My signals crossed.
Yeah.
Hats off to Berhalter, because coaches like Bradley, that's where I was going, didn't do this.
Agreed.
And then when somebody got injured, everyone was like, we don't have a left back. There's no left backs. No Americans play left back. That's not true. You just don't know who they are because you've never seen them. And that's where Greg Berhalter has done a fantastic job, where other guys like Bradley in the past
probably
had
failed.
not.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. The objective of the Gold Cup for the U.S. men's national team and Greg Berhalter and his coaching staff was to bring in MLS more, we'll call it, for lack of a better term, the B and the C squad. We already know what Christian Pulisic can do, what Weston McKennie can do, what Sergio Dest can do. We know what these guys can do, but where are the backups? Where are the guys if someone gets injured, comes in? So you are absolutely right. Yes, this is a MLS-laden roster for the Gold Cup, but it's done for a reason, and a very good reason. And Nate, I think that's a great point you just hit upon. We'll move on. We'll keep tabs on the U.S. men's national team and how they progress through the Gold Cup. Jump on the We Are Soccer socials, especially on our Facebook group. Lots of discussions going on there. Once the game is live tomorrow night, there's always a thread going that's live discussion. People around the world watching that game jumping in. So be sure to watch and have your say. We're going to kind of wrap up World Soccer there, which was brought to you by Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage. If you're looking to refinance, if you're looking for a new mortgage, call Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage. Good guy, good dude, and he'll love to talk soccer when you're filling out those mile-long forms, trust me. Before we jump into our next section, I do want to give a quick shout-out to my daughter, Adeline. She's 6 years old. Last night, she saw me late working on the We Are Soccer show this morning, our topics, and getting all the facts and figures right, and she gave me a little present. So thank you, Adeline. I made sure to watch. She wanted me to wear it. She wanted me to say something. So big shout out to my daughter there.
Hey, nice.
Hey,
Nice.
I sit in this chair. I can do that, right? I think.
When's she trying out now?
Yes. So
she's of the age now.
She is. Yes.
Time to lace up the boots.
Yeah. My daughter plays for the Michigan Jaguars Junior Jags with Trisha Wellick, and oh man, she loves it. She absolutely loves it. Nate, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to jump in and we're just going to talk about a lot of the soccer news from around the world. So we're going to jump in and we're going to do other world soccer news, which is brought to you by Superior Family Dental. If you're looking for a dentist in the Metro Detroit area, hit up Superior Family Dental. They have 2 locations, one in Farmington Hills and one in Milford. Dr. Randy and Dr. Jeff, tell them We Are Soccer sent you, and you'll get a big discount, and they won't hurt you as they drill into your teeth. Trust me. That's
a good plug.
All right, so lots of news coming up here. First one, we all know Barcelona have been in trouble here for the last couple of months. They are way over their wage bill. La Liga sets a little bit of a salary cap per team for La Liga. You're only allowed to spend so much on players and so much on salaries per season. La Liga has strict standards on this, and Barcelona are way over it. They need to sell players. They need to cut players from their team to get under the salary cap, we'll call it. So I'm just going to read you a little bit here. Barcelona's drive to reduce their wage bill has hit a significant obstacle as they struggle to make room to register their new signings and their star man Lionel Messi with his new contract. They just signed him to a 5-year contract. He's 34. He's going to be tied down, provided Barcelona can shift some of the dead weight and some of the other contracts. They'll have tied Messi down to the age of 39. This is coming straight from ESPN. The club must reduce their outgoings to ensure they comply with La Liga's spending limits next season. If they can't, they risk not being able to register Messi and his new contract or their new signings, Memphis Depay, Sergio Aguero, Eric Garcia, and Emerson Royal. Barcelona have until the end of the transfer window, which is August 31st. For everybody who doesn't know, the transfer window in Europe closes August 31st, and they must have gotten rid of some of those contracts and older players who are high earners by August 31st, and then have submitted all the paperwork for these new players, including Messi. The season for Barcelona kicks off August 15th. So there's an absolute chance that they don't shift these players, and Messi and some of these new players are unregistered. They have to sit there, and they cannot play until January 1st. They're going to be taking a 6-month vacation because Barcelona can't sell players and can't get rid of contracts. All right, so
Bet they wish they showed Cantina to Munich when they wanted them.
yeah, that would have been a big sale.
Oh yeah, they wanted them.
So-
But nope, they decided to hold them so they can sit them on the bench. Smart.
Interesting news. We'll keep tabs on that and see if Barcelona. We know it's a fire sale right now at Barcelona. We know they're selling everybody. Griezmann's going. Coutinho needs to go. I mean, everybody needs to go.
No. Two things. The Messi signing the extended contract when everyone told me he was going to leave Barcelona has me chuckling, and I said, no, he is not going anywhere. He will never go anywhere except when he's 39 and plays for Inter Miami and helps Phil Neville actually win a game. Outside of that, I can't wait for the weird legal loophole that Barcelona finds out to get all these guys signed, where it's like, yeah, we're not paying them. They're not a player. They're a guest speaker being paid by our sponsorship over here, but Barcelona isn't paying them, but they're a guest speaker, and that's how they're playing. And there's going to be some wacky, weird loophole that they find. They might sell, they'll probably maybe sell 1 or 2 players, but then the rest of them are going to be entered in through some crazy Spanish loophole that they just work through legally.
You know 100% Barcelona are going to find a way.
Yep.
And La Liga have put their foot down and say, we don't care who it is, whether it's Messi or anybody in the world, we are not going to allow this. And I think we can all call BS on that.
Yeah.
La Liga without Messi, who's watching? And I can tell you another entity that will help with this, and this might surprise people, but ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
If you'd forgotten, ESPN have purchased the rights to La Liga, so you'll be able to watch many La Liga games on ESPN. Do you think anybody wants to click in and watch La Liga games without Lionel Messi?
I don't think you finished the quote, though. La Liga said, we're not going to allow any of this to happen until we get the big sack of cash and through the back door ways in order for this to happen. That was actually the full quote.
I must have stopped reading.
It went down to, it was the text went lower and smaller as it went on because they got
it
quiet.
Became legally. Legally it was on the contract. You guys didn't
straight
see
in the
fine print. We'll keep tabs on that. Messi, I'm sure, will get signed up, but stranger things have happened in the world of football, so we'll see how that goes. Also completed this week was must be the longest transfer saga in the history of the sport. Jadon Sancho finally goes from Borussia Dortmund over to Man United in an £85 million move. I did see the debate last night that Man United have said he's coming home. He's not from Manchester. He's actually from London, and I think what it means is he's coming back to England.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, though. He confused everybody. English people, American people, Germans, everybody was confused. But finally, that £85 million move from Borussia Dortmund to Man United has happened. It's been about a year and a half in the works. We do know that approximately £12 million of that money is going to Manchester City. Now, I do hear you saying, wait, he's going to Man United. How is money going to Manchester City? How's that involved? Well, originally he was a player on the books at Manchester City. Man City sold him to Borussia Dortmund with a sell-on clause that said, when you sell him, we want 15% of that. So 15% now goes back to Man City.
Yeah.
So
that happens all the time. I mean, it literally does. I think
Yeah.
De Bruyne, I think Chelsea got some money when De Bruyne went to City or something like that.
Yeah,
That's totally common. I'll tell you what, though, as you know, or maybe this comes as a surprise, but I happen to watch the Bundesliga a bit. I'm probably shocked by that.
Yep.
And United probably has got just bought one of the most and youngest exciting players in that league that's coming over outside of Ernie Haaland. And you can make a case that when Sancho was playing, he made Haaland much better. So it's going to be exciting for the league, I think.
Yep.
It's going to be exciting for United fans. And hopefully if he has the same form that he had in Dortmund, I don't see why not. Usually players coming from Germany to England don't struggle as much.
I think it's going to take him a little bit to get acclimated. I think he's going to have a little bit of a different role, less of a free-flowing role at Man United compared to what he had at Dortmund.
You have a player that can play on the left, the right, or as a striker.
I think we can both agree, though, that the English Premier League is a little bit tougher than the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga is a great league, don't get me wrong.
It is.
I love it, but it's a little bit tougher in the Premiership. It's a little bit faster, a little bit harder to play in. He's going to take a little bit of time to acclimate, especially with a new teammate. So I think we should give it a 7, 8 to 10 game cushion where it's going to take him time. He may not start every game. It's going to take him a little time to get acclimated.
For sure, but I can draw a lot of straight lines from many players who did very well in the Bundesliga, who then went over to the Premier League and continued that form.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And it's up and down. And I think I don't know the numbers. I'm just going off the top of my head. I think the success rate of players making that jump who were very good in the Bundesliga have been also very good in the Premier League, up and down.
Agreed.
De Bruyne was one of them just brought on. Sané was one of them. There's more than that. Players that went from A to B and were very good.
Agreed. And there'll be a lot more, in my opinion, coming over because the Bundesliga is becoming a very good league to develop.
It is a very good league.
It is a very good league. It is. It's becoming. It has become a very good league, and a lot more players are developing over there. And as we've seen, there's a big influx of Americans, young American players going over there. That could be a whole other topic. Why don't we jump to some of the other quick rumors that have been going around? We all know Harry Kane is leaving Tottenham Hotspur. There's nothing. We know there's been bids from Man City, but nothing concrete yet. Nothing has been signed. We're expecting that to go through. It'll probably come down to the last minute because Daniel Levy and Tottenham are going to wait as long as they can to get as much money as they can. I've seen other rumors of Harry Kane potentially looking at Chelsea, but those all fade away. Those are just paper headlines, in my opinion, and try to get you guys to click and read. It's going to happen to City. He'll be their true number 9. We'll keep tabs on it. A lot of the other rumors also, Jack Grealish rumors to Man City.
Already gone.
Apparently, everybody's already saying it's already done. I think, in my opinion, that rumor has really come out and has gotten started by Man City. I think they are starting the rumor about potentially purchasing Jack Grealish for £100 million in order to get Daniel Levy to stop negotiating with them over Harry Kane and just give in and sell him quick to make sure that Man City doesn't lose interest and then go after Grealish. So it's paper headlines. Jack Grealish is one of the biggest names in world football at the moment. Everybody's clicking in to read that, right? There was another one that came out by Sports Illustrated yesterday. Jack Grealish has agreed personal terms with Man City. It's not. I don't know if it's true, but I'm gonna really say I'm 99% sure that that's not true.
And with all this stuff, until it's announced by the club, I don't really believe it. I mean, I didn't believe the Sancho stuff was going on until it happened. But with all this, and even Harry Kane, I guess the Harry Kane makes it a little bit different because he wants to go and he doesn't want to be there and actually wants to win trophies. But and Sancho happened, really, that was locked in almost last year, but they kind of waited to get a better deal. But big money transfers on the back of a pandemic when you had no fans in the stadium, find it hard to believe. I could even see a world where Harry Kane doesn't leave because they can't meet the transfer price. These clubs are kind of cash strapped right now. They don't have a ton of capital to toss around.
I agree. Well, we'll keep tabs on it. You're right. It might not happen, but Harry Kane has made his intention known. He would like to leave Tottenham and go on and win trophies. Another rumor that's come about that I really don't believe, Pogba to PSG. So PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, in Paris, in France, where he's from. He has a little bit of a love for the club, I believe. I don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening. Man United are not in a need to sell. They just purchased Sancho. They have a really strong squad. There's no way they're going to be able to sell Pogba and then try to accomplish their goal of going on and competing for a Premiership title. They sell Pogba, I think everybody in the league can just hand the title to Man City. Again, I think it's just paper talk, right?
I'm completely shocked that a player in the last year of his contract, there would be a rumor coming out that he would go somewhere else.
I know.
It's just very shocking to me. It's very unheard of, and hopefully he doesn't leave,
right.
or sign a bigger deal.
Another rumor with PSG involved is Kylian Mbappe, who's in the last year of his contract. He's rumored to be wanting to go to Real Madrid and become a Galactico over there. I don't think he leaves, but then again, Ligue 1 in France is it's a two-team race.
Right, and that's an interesting one because former national team players in France have actually made the comment of if he wants to be really great, he's got to move on to a better, more competitive league. So I wonder if, and the age difference there, I wonder if eventually, for sure, that buckles in and he goes off and plays for a more competitive league that can afford him. But again, the problem is this year is, where's this money coming from? These plays, you don't have. They were empty. Yeah, they were
agreed.
They had to pay facility people just to keep afloat out of their back pocket. I mean, so it's.
We'll see what happens. These are big star names, and a lot of the newspapers and a lot of the websites now are just using these big star names to get clicks and reads and more views. And I could
see January being more of a hotbed of transfers this year. Normally it's not, but this year, after they get some fans in and acquire some money and get things going, I could see a lot of these moves maybe, or agreements happening in January that would then carry on to next year type thing. But I just find it hard to believe, on the back of a international tournament year with the Euros and the Copa and the Gold Cup, that less transfers usually happen because players aren't available to negotiate and talk. Then you add in the cash strap.
Yeah. I agree. This January could be a little bit different than normal January transfer windows. And again, this transfer window closes August 31st. The next one opens January 1st. So we'll keep eyes on that. Other news that came out this week, Christian Eriksen would need to have his defibrillator removed in order to return to action at Inter, says Italy's Technical Scientific Committee. Obviously, we all know he suffered a heart attack on the field in one of the first games of Euro 2020 for Denmark there. They had to restart his heart on the field. They got it going. He has since had a defibrillator put into on his heart there, and in order to play with Inter and at the top level, they're saying that the defibrillator would need to be removed. I am not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to do anything or know anything about this, but that's kind of sad news. Hopefully there's something else that can be done. I know Daley Blind plays with a little piece attached to his heart. I'm not sure if it's a full defibrillator. I don't know. I don't know. I just hope that at some point, if he wants to play at the top level and can play at the top level, he is able to, and this won't hold him back. So we'll keep eyes on that. Nate, I'm going to ask you if you can. Adam, can you pull up the Bundesliga fixture, the little red one?
Yes, the simple chart.
I want Nate to quickly explain the Bundesliga fixture.
It's self-explanatory.
No, I looked at this thing and recognized that I didn't have even enough degrees of education to understand this.
This is what don't you get?
So I swear to you, I looked at this for a solid 10 minutes and went, what the hell?
No, it's self-explanatory. There's the fixtures, there's the games, there's the numbers. What
and
don't you get?
You explained it to me a couple of weeks back, and I've already forgotten because it's still. Go ahead. So tell me.
This is the most beautiful and most German thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and it warms my heart as I look at it because I know nobody else gets it.
Nobody.
But I got it instantly, and it's just because
it is very German.
Yeah. But it's awesome. So what you have there is basically the home and away games, and then you have those numbers are match days. So it's a fun little game. So you go. Let's take the best team in the whole world, Stuttgart. It's kind of cut off. It's toward the bottom, but we'll do match 2. So match 2 because Stuttgart's away. Now we're moving it. Match 1 because Stuttgart's home.
Yep.
You go right across. Boom. First, that's game number 1. And if you scroll up there a little bit, Adam, they're playing Firth. Game 1 right there. Who's away?
So
the home and away is what throws you off.
Yep.
But the away is across the right. The home is down across the left. And those are match days.
It's a very German way of doing things.
It's so simple.
Very,
and
very
practical.
German. I mean,
Follow the process.
Yeah, I
Germans
couldn't
about
figure
the process.
it out, but well done.
No, it's like I got it instantly, and then everyone's like, I don't get it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it is. It's a unique way of doing it. I've never seen it done like that before.
No, neither have I.
But they listed the match days.
All right. Well,
home and away. Put it on one little. Now you got the whole match. It's right there.
Love it. It's just so German. Just so very German and organized and clean. Before we jump into other news presented by Next Level Training, excuse me, I'm wondering, Aaron, if you could play the Next Level Training clip that we have. We're going to show you Aaron Bird, Next Level Training, and what they're all about, and then we'll come back and talk about other news, and we'll show you some cool jerseys that we found and kits that have dropped this week. All right, let's go ahead and play that. All right, so that was a clip from Aaron Bird and Next Level Training. I tell you what, guys, my kids went to the Next Level Training camp this past week, and they had an absolute blast. There was a lot of kids out there. There's no one who does camps and training better than Aaron and Next Level. And I'll give you 2 names. Jalen Howell, who's a U.S. Women's National Team player. She will be a mainstay in that U.S. Women's National Team for a couple of years. She right now is finishing up college at Florida State. And then Kellen Acosta. Both Jalen Howell and Kellen Acosta plays for the U.S. Men's National Team, train with Aaron Bird at Next Level Training. If you are in the Metro Detroit area and you are looking to get training for your kid, or if you're looking to do training, go to Next Level Training. I'm telling you, there's no one better. All right. You may have noticed.
What just happened?
You may have noticed I've switched shirts.
What just happened here?
I love to do costume changes, and here's one for you guys. So we're going to talk about some jerseys and kits that have dropped in the past couple of weeks here. This is one I found online 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's by a club in Nisa, the National Independent Soccer Association. They play in Nisa. This is New Amsterdam Football Club.
I have so many mixed emotions about that.
They are from upstate New York. And they've got little things all over their jersey representing New York, New York City, the Empire State Building, and a hot dog. They got, what's this, the little blue cup that they do coffee. Their sponsor is Fruit Street, I believe. They got a old school soccer ball. That right
Subway
there.
pass, I think, right?
That's a Subway pass. Oh, the Statue of Liberty torch, the Big Apple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went ahead and bought this because this is awesome. This is a really good quality shirt. I'll be honest. The only problem I have with it is that the patch, the club crest here,
it's muted. It's hard to see.
It's a little muted, but it's not. It's printed onto the shirt. I like to have the patch where. A little bit like that one that you got in there. It's stitched in, yeah. I will say when they sent me the shirt, New Amsterdam FC, when they sent me the shirt, they sent me some stickers.
That's awesome.
So I got a little patch of stickers. And then they sent a soccer card, an old school soccer card.
That is doubly awesome.
And it's from 1991, a pro set. And it's Gavin Johnson from Ipswich Town.
And they actually signed it on the back, too.
Yeah, so they said, "Thanks, Craig." Nice. And I was like, wait a minute, you're sending out old school soccer cards with a handwritten thank you note. Just, I don't know, man, that was class. So for $60, I was like, heck yeah, I'll buy this. And I don't know how often I'll wear it out on the street.
Every day.
But I'll wear it often. I really enjoy this shirt.
That is class, though, that they sent you stickers. And that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
I'll be sure to tag them and show them this video because, man, I'm really happy with this purchase. Some other shirts that have dropped over the past couple of weeks here. Barcelona dropped an away jersey that is like purpley, pinkish, whatever, mauve. I don't know. Adam, do we have that?
This is going to save their financial issues.
I want to know how they got Megan Rapinoe to display this shirt, the away shirt. So on the left, we've got the home. Wait. Yeah, we got the home jersey, which... I don't mind.
It's not bad.
I didn't like it at first, but it's growing on me.
I mean, it's like their classic colors and their classic design. They kind of did a little bit of a bigger cross there, so it's not bad.
It doesn't look very good when they have the shorts because the shorts are split 50-50 down the middle of half red, half blue. So it looks kind of weird. But if they had solid color shorts when they wore that, it'd be fine. The away shirt there, the purpley thing.
Oh, that's not an alternate. No, they're going to wear that regularly.
I believe that's their away jersey.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay, well,
it's weird.
That's a bad decision.
Yeah. And then Juventus dropped their away kit this past week. And Weston McKennie was one of the guys who was displaying that. I don't know if we have that picture, Adam.
I like this. I saw this all over.
I thought it was nice.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was pretty
classic,
nice.
Finally a good design by nothing too crazy, just black and making it work.
I'm not a huge fan still of their new logo, but you know what? That's okay. It's a nice jersey. It's very nice. Looks like they've got another sponsor. They've got two sponsors on the front, which not a huge fan of.
Setting a trend.
Yeah, it's all about money, right?
Setting a trend.
This is one that you might confuse people. This is from a club called Bedale AFC.
Ooh.
And here is their kit. I don't know if we have that picture.
Yeah, I bought. Now I'll be wearing this throughout the streets. This is what I bought.
So this is a lower league club in England, I believe, and they are.
I like the classic look
and testicular cancer awareness. This is what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
So they're pretending that they've got see-through, and I think this is a little bit of a gag.
Wait. Are the arrows part of it?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. So
now I'm definitely buying it.
So they're trying to bring awareness to prostate and testicular cancer, as you can see. But this is what they put out, and they got a lot of online hits with this. So very interesting. Next one on the list, Tottenham Hotspur. This is their away jersey. When I saw this, I thought it was a gag. I thought there was a joke involved.
Can't wait to see this.
This is bizarre. If we can bring up this.
Wait, Adam, can you take the pictures of the bus seats off for a second and put the jerseys on, please?
These do look like the old school bus seats you used to sit on, right?
I thought that was their travel bus. No, that's the jersey.
This is Højbjerg, and he's just it's like space, right? Is this? I can't believe this is what they're actually going with.
You know what's awesome? here I thought, as a person who's not very artistic, and I thought that would hold me back from being able to design things in life. And it's good to see with some of these things that are coming out that, no, you don't need any artistic talent in order to be a designer. And it makes me wonder if I, too, could have a career of making really unique...
You could.
Or what some would say awful-looking
You absolutely
items.
could. You absolutely could.
Nice.
Yeah. Next one on the list is one of my favorites. I'm not a huge fan of this the Villa jersey that's just come out here. The Aston Villa home kit.
Never heard of Aston Villa. Who's this team?
But it's nice. I've seen. I watched them play. Aston Villa played Walsall in a friendly the other day. They won 4-0. This jersey's not bad actually. It looks very nice.
It looks like all the other Villa jerseys.
It does. But Villa have a very traditional claret body.
Yeah.
Blue sleeves.
I didn't say that as a knock.
Yeah.
I just, if you didn't like, I'm fine with it. I mean, I like the cleaner look, and I do like their colors actually.
They haven't dropped their away kit yet, so I'm holding off on which one I'll purchase. But I try to purchase a Villa jersey every year. Last year I purchased the away one. This year I haven't decided yet. We'll see what the away one looks like, and then if I purchase the home and away. Last one we're going to show you today. It's not a actual jersey. This is a training top. But Nate, I believe we have found a shirt that you can fit into.
Yes.
Here is the Stuttgart tank top. And
heck yeah, baby.
We found a shirt that your arms will fit into.
Nice, finally.
Yeah.
Now the prejudice against people who go to the gym regularly and soccer jerseys, the battle will no longer happen. We have now found something that the gym bros can fit into.
Exactly.
Thank you, Stuttgart. And actually, but their jerseys are solid this year, man.
They do have some nice jerseys.
They have some great looking attire, as they always do.
As they always
do. They might not do so good at the league sometimes, but when it comes to fashion, we win the fashion competition every year.
Spoken like a true Stuttgart fanatic.
Go online, look at their stuff. It's beautiful.
So that was other soccer news brought to you by Aaron and Next Level Training. I think we're going to do, just before we jump in, we just want to give a quick update on the USA and New Zealand. USA are up 3-0 against New Zealand, and they have approximately 20-some-odd minutes left. Right now, we're going to jump in and do some buy or sell, brought to you by Detroit City FC. All right, so we're going to focus a little bit on MLS for buy or sell today. The other night, Nate, Seattle. You just happen to be wearing their jersey. Very nice. The Seattle Sounders. They started 5 teenagers in their game. 5. And let me read you the ages. 18 years old, 16 years old, 18 years old, 19, and 15. 15 years old. I'm going to repeat what we just said here. Seattle started 5 teenagers in their league game. They ended up winning 1-0, I believe.
Yep. Ruben Diaz came on, but they did well.
Yeah,
those players held their own.
That's phenomenal if you think about it. 5 teenagers playing in one game and they won.
Yep.
And not just all 19-year-olds. There was a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old. That is crazy.
And the story gets better. All 5 of those players came up through the Seattle youth squad. Then they started playing their professional career or semi-professional career in the USL, their Tacoma Defense, which is Seattle's development USL team, and they just all got their first start. I hate to use the words, that's how you do it, but this is what we need in our league. This is what we need to happen. So buying or selling,
MLS bringing up youngsters.
I love it. I love it.
I think
buying.
It's great.
I'm all in. This is how, if we want to get better, and there's different pathways for every player, but having a pathway like this for these players to work up and go in and then become pros. And who knows where they'll take their career. Maybe they'll be national team players. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just be really good MLS players. Who knows? But this is the stuff we need. This is what the rest of the world does.
This is true.
This is great. I think it's awesome. The pathway to pro.
Right.
And this is how it's supposed to happen.
So you're buying it. I'm buying it. I think it's a brilliant thing.
In.
I'm all in as well on it. Buying or selling Miami, as they have lost some heavy games. I think they've lost 5 in a row. They lost 5-0 the other night to New England. The coach, Phil Neville, was brought in because he's good friends of the owner, David Beckham. Are you buying or selling the fact that Phil Neville is still going to be there at the end of the season, or is David Beckham going to can his good friend? What do you think is going to happen?
I think there's a high possibility he could be canned there. So I'm gonna buy that he might be canned.
Yeah.
The problem is MLS is unique. I'm not saying it's better or worse or anything, but it's unique in their structure. It's unique in the times they play, how they play, and how everything forms. And you know, I think you look at the pattern of the MLS-based coaches who are used to this stuff. They do very well. You know, Seattle's coach is doing very well. You take him and put him in the Premier League, he'll probably fail. But he knows how to work this league, and he knows how to do very well. And I think it's very hard for other coaches who come in who don't have that experience to do good off the bat. Hopefully he can stay. Hopefully they'll give him a chance and to see what happens, because it's not like he's been there a while. But you know, it's a results-based league.
Yep. Are you buying or selling MLS players going on loan? And the example is Daryl Dike went to Barnsley, did very well, and has now come back and is playing well for the U.S. men's national team. Buying or selling, that a good thing for the league, for MLS?
I think it's a good thing. I think it shows that when your players go away and can perform in other leagues, it shows that your league isn't that bad as bad as maybe people look at it, and they give more eyes on it and go, this is all right. Then hopefully they get sold, and the more cash comes in the league, and you make things better and things progress. This again, it's how it's supposed to be done.
I think it helps the league where they're at now.
Gives you credibility.
Absolutely. I hope, obviously, I hope in the future the top players don't have to go out on loan and do this, but for now that's the way MLS is structured and that's the way it works. So I'm buying that as well, but in the future I hope at some point they don't need to do that.
I don't know. I have a different opinion of that. I mean, you look at Argentina League, Brazil League, you look at where do the best players in Argentina and Brazil play? Do they play in Argentina and Brazil, or do they play overseas?
That's true. That's absolutely very true.
I don't think you have to have a dominant, domestic league in order to perform good on a national stage. I think you have to have a well-structured one that produces players and talents and passes it through so they can go wherever. And I think that's what we're starting to get. But I don't think all your talent has to stay necessarily locally, because when you look at the better national teams, outside of Europe, they don't stay.
Yep, agreed. I think we're buying on all those topics.
Ka-ching!
And the MLS is getting better as it goes along. I know a lot of people have some issues with the MLS, but
I have my issues with it too. But
I have issues with the way they're set up with no pro and no relegation. But take it for what it is in the soccer. The soccer's getting better, and I enjoy it.
Can you name an American sport that's set up differently than MLS?
Well, no,
because culturally, that's how our sports are set up.
Agreed.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
There is no professional league that's set up where it's not owner based.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
And as we progress from that into our local pro soccer segment here with Detroit City FC, the kind of those two leagues, those things don't get along, right? MLS, no pro, no relegation, promotion, relegation, and then as we go down to Detroit City FC, who progressed up. The only way for them to get into MLS is to buy it in, and they probably don't want to get there. So a topic for another day.
It pains me that we even have to say that, because I go back into the realm of soccer is a sport that can be enjoyed in many different ways in various different aspects, and whatever league you're watching, there is great things in there.
Yep.
No matter what.
Agreed.
And there shouldn't be a conflict in my mind. If we're trying to grow the game, you shouldn't be a conflict.
So Detroit City FC, kind of on a little bit of a hiatus here. They've taken a couple of weeks off here. They get back into action this week, Wednesday, July 28th at Keyworth Stadium. They play Livonia City FC. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area and you're looking to watch some good soccer, get out and watch Detroit City FC. They play Livonia City FC this Wednesday, Keyworth Stadium. You can find your tickets available at DebtCityFC.com. Next Saturday, July 31st, they play at home again against Hamtramck FC. So hometown Hamtramck getting to Keyworth Stadium. Again, tickets, DebtCityFC.com. A little bit of news from Detroit City this week. Matt Lewis is gone from Detroit City FC on loan to El Paso of the USL Championship until August 1st. It can be till the end of the season, but I believe for now it's August 31st, and Detroit City have the rights to call him back at any point. I don't know the full context behind this loan move for Matt Lewis. He's been one of the outstanding players to Detroit City FC this season. He's going on loan, in my opinion, probably to help out with 2 or 3 games that they are in the El Paso squad in the USL Championship. And then at some point he'll be called back to Detroit City FC. Quickly, I just want to mention upcoming, there is a Michigan Jaguars 3v3 tournament. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area and you are between the ages of U7 or have a child between the ages of U7 and U19 and you want to play 3v3, August 7th, Total Soccer of Wixom, $125 per team. A great 3v3 tournament is going to be over there, put on by Michigan Jaguars. You can sign up at michiganjaguarsfc.com. Lots of fun. I know if I was in that age bracket, I'd be playing.
What do you mean? I thought you, Adam, and I were entering.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to. I don't know how I don't look anywhere close to 19 anymore. I'm closer to. I look like I'm like 29. Let's go with that.
I would buy that you're like, I'm buying that you're 18 at least.
Yeah, I'd buy that as well.
With that shirt.
So if you're in the Metro Detroit area and you've got a child or you are between the ages of U7 and U19, go ahead and sign up. August 7th, Total Soccer Wixom. Should be a great time. I mean, I got sheets and sheets of stuff we could go on about. Unfortunately, our time is pretty much up here, guys. Another jam-packed show of We Are Soccer. There's so much soccer going on. Don't forget, jump on all our social channels on the We Are Soccer Facebook group. Every day there's multiple topics about soccer around the world, discussions, some arguments, but they're very good. We have a lot of people on those groups. We put out a lot of information. Be sure to have your say, and don't be afraid to post something and put your thoughts out there.
2 weeks until league starts, and then
then
it's gonna be real crazy.
We have a couple weeks before the leagues really start here.
Qualifying,
and then World Cup qualifying. I was hoping to take a vacation at some point, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No soup for you, sir.
No, that's not happening. So anyway, as usual, thank you to Adam and the Woodward Sports team behind the scenes here. Thank you, Adam. Very much appreciate it. Thank you again to Nate for being on the show today. Always love having Nate and hearing his thoughts. Big thank you to our friends, Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars, Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage, Superior Family Dental, and Aaron at Next Level Training. They're all very good people, all very good companies. You have my word on that. Do me a favor, like I said earlier, go ahead and like all the We Are Soccer social channels. We are on Twitch. We are on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You name it, we are there. Oh, TikTok. We put on some good TikTok videos recently. So go ahead and like that. And for now, I think that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. As usual, cheers.